Hello, hello, hello. All right, guys, I just wanted to hop on real quick and talk a little bit about motivation. So I was listening to a motivational speech recently, and they brought up a very good point that motivation is an emotion. So motivation essentially can just be how you're feeling that day. Like if you don't feel very motivated, don't be very hard on yourself, because that is when consistency and persistence comes into play. So when motivation is lacking, for instance, this week I've been under the weather, I've been a little bit sick. Today's finally my second day on antibiotics, so my lymph nodes went down a little bit, and I decided to take the dogs on a walk to get at least a little bit of physical activity, because I've just been cooped up in the house, drinking a lot of fluids and trying to get better. And so my motivation was cruddy. I didn't feel like doing anything. I felt like crap, and so it had been since, I think, Saturday that I've had an actual good workout. I've done little things around the house and stuff like that, done a lot of cleaning, which that's pretty physical. We've done a lot of housework. I did a lot of lifting and all these different things around the house trying to get it ready. So I've done plenty of physical things, but amongst being sick, the motivation just went away completely. And honestly, at the beginning of this year, it was already kind of waning a little bit. So now that I've been sick, it's like, ugh, the motivation's like zero. So that's when that speech popped into my mind, and I remembered consistency and persistence. So today I took the dog out for a walk. I decided just to shake off the I don't wannas, because I've used the excuse of like the wind or it's kind of chilly or whatever. So I went outside, I enjoyed it for a minute, and honestly at first I was not in a good mood. The dogs were kind of being a hassle, and so I almost turned around and came back home because they were kind of just pissing me off. Like they were pulling and being crazy. But I decided just to persist on my journey like I had planned, and I went ahead and walked all the way down the block and then came back around. That way, if I did decide to come back, I at least had made myself go half a mile up the road. So I went all the way up the road, started coming back around, and by that time I decided I'd just stop for a water break and keep going. So the dogs and I stopped, we had a water break at the house, and then we hit the road for another 30 minutes walking. And all of us feel so much better by the end of it. Walter was even like barely wanting to walk because he was getting worn out. So, you know, these are those moments when it's so crucial to just push past that emotion of the I don't want us. There's so many times that emotions try to rule our lives, and you always hear people say, like, get out of your feelings. Like, emotion is a feeling, so just get out of that feeling. It's something you can push past. So remember, consistency and persistence will push you through anything. Hey, Bobby. But I appreciate the one person that hopped on and saw this for a second. Oh, two people. But this will be replaying in just a second. But remember, motivation is an emotion that you can beat. So if you can't find the motivation today, find something to consistently keep on doing. So if you've been taking your dogs on a walk every day, consistently keep doing that, guys. Whatever it is, baby steps can make a huge difference. And also, on top of that, since I mentioned that, I guess I won't hop off right now. I mentioned taking your dog on a walk. So I had someone one time ask me, someone who had no physical activity in their life asked, is it enough for me to just go on evening walks if I haven't ever done anything? It is absolutely enough. That's starting somewhere. If you've never ever gone and even taken a walk, go outside and get 10,000 steps a day. You will see a huge difference in even just how you feel. Having those endorphins release will make a huge difference. So if you've never worked out in your life, start with a walk. So get a leash, take your dog, go on a walk, and do something to start doing something that you can be persistent with. So consistency and persistence. Sorry, guys. Had a phone call come through. But consistency and persistence are always going to push you past that feeling of waning motivation. So I hope this helped encourage you today to remind yourselves that you can push past the funk. Love you guys so much, and I hope that y'all have a blessed rest of your day. Mwah!